That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
So you said something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, put it like this, the material using my body to stab the lady.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah. You know that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they got to investigate the material my body is supposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they got to investigate.
You got that scrap on you. What up, y'all?
Alright, I'ma fuck with you.
Alright, bro.
My questions. Just wanted to ask you, does wearing masks stop the spread of COVID or help prevent the spread of COVID?
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't hear your question.
Dr. Fauci, does wearing masks help stop the spread of COVID?
Absolutely.
Should people keep wearing masks?
Absolutely.
What specific studies do you cite to argue that the public should be wearing masks well into 2022?
I'm not sure I understand the connection of what you're saying.
You're telling everybody to wear a mask. Isn't it just theater?
No, it's
Had
not.
the vaccine and you're wearing 2 masks. Isn't that theater?
No, that's not. Here we go again with the theater. Let's get down to the facts.
There's no science behind it.
Well, let me just state for the record that masks are not theater.
What are you, inside the loop or something? You're a fucking porno star!
The thing I heard was that this guy's anti-Semitic. So
that was part of it.
Are you or are you not?
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah.
Oh, you're anti-Jew.
Yeah.
What kind of society do we want to live in? It's a pressing question. Do we want to be too racist and safe, or not racist enough and not have a society?
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time know that's not my language. It's nonsense. And frankly, you're wasting your time.
In my views, I like people, and I just feel that way. And I'm not going to play the game where I have to be like, oh, actually, my wife is part Jewish or whatever. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to do that. I think we should stand on principle.
Because we're afraid of being called racist. Well, I am part of the new generation, and I can assure you, I don't give a fuck about being called racist. I want my fucking country back.
It's cultural swine, bitch. Now where's the blow?
George Bush doesn't care about black people. God damn. My dude is exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. On 9/12. On 9/12, I'm fucking exhausted. I don't even want to talk about the day before. But out of respect, I didn't do this pod yesterday. So, you know. You can turn off the camera while recording, but you can't switch cameras. What does that mean? Okay, that's fine. All right, we're going only audio right now, unless we have someone call in onto the live stream. We'll be getting at that. But yeah, no, I'm fucking worn out. Spent the whole fucking morning at the mechanic. We're not gonna talk about that. Shit's gay. No one wants to hear about that. But I will say, old people need to learn how to turn the fucking volume on their fucking phones down. Okay? I know hearing gets a little bit worse as you age, you know? Especially when you're just yelling fucking N-bombs at every fucking thing that runs by you at that age. But no, your ears just, I guess ears go out. I don't know if that's a common thing, but it's definitely a common thing for just old people that feel the need to have everyone around listening to whatever fucking AI junk that they believe is real, or some type of fucking Fox or CNN newsreel, or whatever fucking whatever video you saw 9 years ago on Vine that they're now getting a hold of because they finally surpassed the level of conquering email. But this fucking dude, bro, just an old fuck. He's just blasting his phone, like most people have their headphones on, but I don't mind people if I hear people shit. Usually it's not that loud. People usually have headphones in, or they just are reading shit and waiting till they're alone or in a better place to listen to it, because it's fucking annoying for everyone else. The only people that do it are old white assholes that if they don't have their wife with them to yell at, they'll just start annoying everyone else with their phone volume. And the only other group that does this is blacks and speakers in public. They feel the need to blast their music, malls, hiking grounds, wherever the fuck they are. They just feel the need to blast the music that is music that is basically just raps about how they kill each other within that population. And gun violence is, I know it's a huge issue right now, and I'm not gonna you know what, let's just get this out of the way. Let's talk about Kirk, okay? I'm not going to go deep into this because I think everything that's coming out right now is bullshit. I think everything's a fucking lie. The only thing that's not a lie is, well, his passing. Because if you haven't seen the video, it's time to nut the fuck up and see what type of shit is happening to people that, I mean, not only is it just as someone with influence, it's like someone that was just exercising the First Amendment. But I'm not going to get too deep into it because I mean it just happened, and emotions are running high, and things get said, and things are just amplified when it's this early in the stage of what we just witnessed as a nation. And that I don't think people understand how traumatic that is, especially following the monkey that stabbed the war refugee that only just wanted to ride public transportation home from the pizza shop she worked at. But I've already talked about that primitive ape and the other apes watching it happen. Disgusting. But yeah, and this it first off, no one deserves to die for what they say. That's literally why this country's the greatest and why it was founded. And if you don't believe so, you can you either need to read the Constitution or at least understand what it means, especially the first two rights, because they're kind of intertwined with each other. And if you don't understand it, and further, if you don't agree with it, I just don't want you in my country. You're disgusting and filthy, and no one wants to be around you. And that's actually, you're just a scumbag. You're ruining something that we were born into, that people had to fucking give their lives for. And I mean, we're essentially doing the same thing. We're giving it up and our lives. We just I'm sorry that we took this from you, and even though we lost so many lives too, we're gonna feel bad for you and let all you fucking animalistic, depraved, fucking vile creatures into our country. But that's what you get with people that are way oversympathetic and have nothing. They usually it's the white liberal women that this is happening. I mean, they have no kids to take care of, and well, they're so depressed with themselves, because the best thing they have to look forward to is the new Taylor Swift song or the new Taylor Swift Instagram picture coming out for the week. And they are just longing to love something because they don't want to have kids because they think it's cool to drink Chardonnay until they're 50 and then just be a bitter old bitch until they die. Like the Phillies game. Yeah, it's a result of them because they didn't want to have kids to love. And so let's just get back to the Charlie Kirk thing. R.I.P. Prayers out to the family. And, everyone's going to sit here. Everyone's already said it. We've disagreed. Everyone, yeah. He had a stance that was it was Zionist. It was a Zionist stance. But it was coming out of the intention of what he thinks the Bible, the New Testament, the Judeo-Christian Bible, whatever that is. I'm just talking on my ass. He's of the opinion or thought that Israel was given that land by God, and I think that's just totally misrepresented. God would never give the land to anyone specifically, I don't think, especially not a bunch of inbred, disgusting people that especially Christians thinking this, given they believe that our Lord and Savior is burning in dung in hell. But Charlie actually just genuinely he just believed this, and that's why he was supporting Israel, and he genuinely hates, like, Gavin McGinnis. That guy is he is so far gone on the Islamophobia that he is just he loves it. He's a Zionist. But this is what you get though with the new Christian sentiment that the Bible says that this land was supposed to be for them, and it's, in my opinion, totally misrepresented. It doesn't make any sense because the people saying it, their genetics don't even match up regarding the land that they were supposed to be given. Actually, I think the Palestinian genetics prove more of them being the chosen, but no one's a chosen, in my opinion. It's a bullshit reason, but that he pledges support. But there comes a time where things just last too long and go on for too long to where you can't support it anymore. It makes zero sense. And well, some people cause trouble for countries too that show connections. And well, if you bring that up, like someone that traffics and fucks kids on an island where, he's bringing black midgets to Stephen Hawking to tell us about black holes, which was just the black midget's asshole. That's all his book was about. But yeah, Charlie Kirk said he started to kind of see through the bullshit. And you'll hear it in the intro. He says, like, you're coming at my morality when you're asking me to not say things that I know to be true. And I think he's exactly right. I fucking despise Megyn Kelly. You're hot. But remember, Megyn Kelly had James Alefantis on to help with the cover up. Oh, by the way, though, don't shout out that faggot. But I finally got the acceptance to follow the James Alefantis page, the Comet Pizza place, and I don't know if he's gonna be brave enough to post the content that he got people looking at that page in the first place. But it did take a while for me to get accepted. You can't just go follow that page anymore. But I need to stop going on tangents. But that's this podcast: observations, tangents, and rants. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is with Megyn Kelly goes, it doesn't even matter if they want me to support them fully, and he says I can't do that anyway because one, I'm a Christian. Okay, I support you guys in what you do, but number one, I'm a Christian, and then number two, I'm an American, and so I can't just support you guys blindly and with 100% loyalty and 100% faith, like that weasel fuck Ben Shapiro does, whose sister's got big old tatas, and individuals like that, because he's an American first. And he's right. And he's not even criticizing them there. He's just saying, hey, I'm an American and I'm a Christian. That's my priority. And then you guys. And apparently that was too far on the anti-Semitic curve for, I guess, a lot of people. I mean, if that's anti-Semitic, I am Because I'll take the label that it actually is at this point. That is what anti-Semitic means. I'll take it. Fuck it. Get out of here. It's not your land. Nothing. No land you guys have ever lived on has been yours. You've always just traveled there because you guys get kicked out of everywhere you go. But I'm not here to talk about Jews, but we're going to talk about 9/11 too. So I don't know why I said that. But yeah, Kirk, he just started seeing these things where he's like, dude, what? I'm not even. It's not even like I'm criticizing it. I'm just stating facts and observations in my opinion, which I have the right to do, and which is what he was shot for, which is just crazy, was his opinion. Really weird situation. I'm not even going to go into the details because it's all bullshit in my opinion. I think at this early of a stage, it's still easy to use the trauma that's still lingering to program and mind control and scare people into compliance and, begging for martial law, like Sam Tripoli would say, or begging to give their guns away, which you see more and more people that like you wouldn't ever believe that they would advocate for stricter regulations around the Second Amendment. It's retarded. Fuck off. It's not the guns. Our founding fathers already told us that in the Constitution what we get when we're born here, and the first two are very important given the current climate and atmosphere of what's going on. So no, they don't. I don't even. It's not even worth a discussion. I don't even want to entertain a discussion on philosophy surrounding the constitutional rights that we were given. My founding fathers said so. They founded this bitch. They fucking carved their heads into a fucking mountain. While, I mean, the ones who took it from bitched and moaned. They said so. They said we get these things with and no ands ifs or buts, and so it's not. They already debated it. You fucking retards. Why are we going to debate it again? I'm not doing it. And so yeah. I mean, it's a gun issue. It's a martial law issue. Trump's sending military into places and trying to take credit for this huge crime rate going down. Well, yeah, it's going to happen. But do you really want to give up? Do you really want to feel safer and have police roaming the streets? Or do you want to take some fucking responsibility as a goddamn citizen of the country and start protecting it? You're so fucking pussy to call someone a black, which is not even a bad word to call them. They are a black, but they'll call you a cracker white boy to your face while they all fucking chimp around and laugh at you. And and when someone finally sticks up and chokes their fucking ass out on a plane, or not a plane, a train, like Daniel Penny, who's demonized? Well, the one that we are all fucking praying to manifest itself as the vigilante hero we all need. I mean, like, again, Sam Tripoli would say this too. This is where I get a lot of my shit anyway. Shout out Tinfoil Hat, Sam Tripoli, dude's a beast. But fuck, what did I say? Oh yeah, that's like if we're just gonna have a bunch of criminals running around and a bunch of chaos kind of directing things, you might as well just make vigilantism legal, like what Batman was. Like, why not? We'll just take it into our own hands, which will happen regardless. Like, citizens will take matters into their own hands if the cops don't do their jobs. We saw this with the climate riots when people glued themselves to streets, and, well, the faggot cops didn't do their job because it's in the name of social justice, and people got out of their cars and dragged the fucking liberal retards by their fucking hair and treated them like the little bitches they are. And that's what you don't want, because when people of a country start taking things into their own hands, then, I don't know, then it gets real, real sketchy. So, but my finishing thoughts on Kirk, like, the dude was I don't even know if I'd call it criticizing Israel. It's still, like, in full support of them. It was just a simple question of, is there an end in the near future of this this, I don't even want to call it a war, this annihilation that he's supported for the past 2 years? Like, you guys are bombing rubble. What else is there to bomb? You guys are bombing rubble, and what they have built up, Jews have moved into. So who takes those refugees? Us. And then what happens? They get stabbed on public transit going home from work in the neck. But yeah, I'm not even going to go into details about the 3 different individuals they fucking have arrested. It seems they've got the final one. Still a little sketchy about that. There's another foreign entity I've talked about that, you know, this prime minister of his country couldn't stop for 5 seconds any of the attacks that he has been doing for the past 2 years. But once his what should I say, false prodigy Charlie Kirk, who he probably thought was the guy for them, started kind of seeing through bullshit, because most people that have any sense of morale will call out bullshit when they don't believe in it. Once that happens, well, you know, that you I don't know, if something weird happens where right as you say, what about gang violence, you get shot in the fucking neck. Okay? And there's weird things all around it. I'm not going into it, but I'm going to give it a little bit longer. It's still in the trauma phase. It's still in the weird emotional phase. People aren't seeing straight. People aren't, clear-headed. We're not given all the information. Kash Patel goes, we finally got him in under 36 hours. Exactly 33 hours, he says they got him in. And if you know, you know. But yeah, Kash Patel, I mean, the guy's a fucking chump, dude. And last thing I want to say, I thought it was just happening among like woke university students, which sucks because I have a sibling that goes to John Jay College. It's essentially the top criminal justice university around that you could go to in the United States, at least one of them. And you would think that, you know, this type of not only unconstitutional act, this animalistic, primitive, unconstitutional act that we all witnessed, and Kirk was the victim of, Charlie Kirk, you think these kids would understand that you can't. The Constitution allows people to speak without fearing or being put to death, and that's what makes us civil and great and very unlike Africa or Somali. But they don't understand this because they never read the Constitution, I'm guessing. I don't know if they're capable of reading and interpreting it, but they don't even care to do it, nor do any of the professors who are teaching them. Because if you're at a top university criminal justice program, I don't know why it's not mandatory that is like in class with us every day. It's at least a mandatory read and testing on it before you can take any basic classes. I mean, they have you taking fucking gender studies, sociology, archaeology. This is completely wrong. Psychology, you're learning about Sigmund Freud telling you to that dreams are just people wanting to fuck their mom and kill their dad. Well, he was a cokehead and a pederast, so these are what they're teaching you. Instead of like, hey, here's the Constitution. You guys are going to be in the criminal justice, department, and it's a very, very important thing to learn, given this is what we were founded on, and it's being torn apart right in front of our face and degraded. And you younger generations are the ones allowing it to happen, because you're now essentially consenting to them degrading it by saying we should have a debate on whether this act on Charlie Kirk was right or wrong. If you come up to me trying to debate this type of shit, or even entertain it in front of me, that we should have a debate on whether this was justified or not, I will spit in your face. I don't care if guy, girl, whatever, school shooter, you know that one gender that I just call them school shooters now. Yeah, I don't care what you are. If you come up here trying to entertain a debate on whether the shooting was justified or not, I will spit in your face. I will spit on your face and treat you like the cockroach you are, and I'll view you as the gum on the bottom of my shoe. Get the fuck out of my face and get the fuck out of the country. That's treason. Not only that, you have people that just blindly go, yeah, it's good. Like they're cheering it on in the name of George Junkie Floyd. They go, George Floyd was also a father. George Floyd was also the father that tried to punch his pregnant wife in the stomach. Okay? How great is that? He goes, yeah, I know there's Planned Parenthoods around these parts, these black parts, but I stuck around. So we don't even got to pay for the abortion. I'll just fucking hit you myself. And then he couldn't breathe. All right. But yeah, it's just, so yeah, that's just the last thing. And I thought that was among just like college woke, indoctrinated, programmed, compliant, boosted up, mask wearing students. And that's what you would you expect it now, but it's not something you ever saw. I don't know. I don't think it would be something you saw decades ago when masculinity was cherished and Rachel Maddows weren't taking balls from kids in the home run stands. But to bring this home, it's not just these university students, and it's uncalled for that if you go to a school like John Jay and you don't know what the Constitution is and you want to debate me on if it's justified or not for someone to say something that you don't like and you get to shoot them in the fucking neck in front of thousands of people, millions, because it was essentially televised. And then, well, yeah, we'll see. I'm not going any farther than that because I'm waiting for information to come out, even though I have a good idea. But no, come up and like I said, to finish this point, I'm seeing it among kids that I know that I went to school with that are my age that want to talk about this, and I see a lot of people going, "Yeah, now people are finally acknowledging that death is not right." When they haven't for the past 2 years in Gaza, but people have been. I've been saying that, but it is kind of a good point to make, but wrong here. It's just wrong to say. Just for any, I don't know. It's just wrong. It was a wrong act, and people will always use events like this to make their point, and it's just scummy. But at the end of the day, last one I want to make. You come up to me and try to debate this and even try to get me to even slightly, not even agree with you, just to, let's say, tolerate the debate of the justification for this act. I promise you I'll spit in your fucking ugly, mask-wearing, pimply-ass dyke face. I promise you. I'll fucking facial you with my spit. All right? So I don't want to talk much more about that. And I'm sure I'll come back to it and when everything settles down. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. The dude was shot in the fucking neck and killed in front of his 3-year-old daughter and his wife, or 10-year-old. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's kid and wife. And, it's really weird because Israel really wants our military-age men to help them spread democracy among the Middle East so we can take in their refugees for them. And so, yeah, I don't know. There's some weird things around that. And I don't know. So let's get into something else, I guess, that might be connected in a weird way. Yesterday was 9/11. And I put something up on the Instagram story where I was like, what were those 5 like Israeli citizens doing when they were like dancing after the planes had hit the towers? And then why were they like posing for pictures with the towers being blown up and burned down in the background? And then you're like, hold on, so what was that? Why are they celebrating this? Like not only like they knew it was going to happen, but like they're documenting it to make sure they can get it to who wants to see it, It's like, yeah, Monica, we're going to let you go over there and suck good old Bill Clinton's Arkansas dick. But you're going to have to bring us back some tapes, though, Monica. You got that? And she goes, yes. Yes, can I start a podcast after? We can try to start you on, Monica, but I think people are going to think it's an OnlyFans account and try to come on and get their dick sucked. We'll call it the Cigar Lounge. But Yeah, the dancing Israeli. So yeah, so they're dancing. People are seeing them. People are reporting them. They get arrested by the FBI. All right, what does the FBI do with them? Interrogates them. Finds out they've been conducting business here for some time. They've been here doing shady shit. No one knows why they were here. Like essentially on like work trips, like working here for a little bit up until the event. And yeah, it's weird because they're not citizens. Now you might say, yeah, that's normal. We see them everywhere. They got fucking APAC and all these lobbies here. So it's like a two government system here. You can say it all, but what you can't say is anything anti-Semitic, because that's actually a law passed here, I'm pretty sure. And so, I mean, they just come here willingly, work here, dance when they blow up buildings, and they can create laws in other countries that make it illegal to criticize them. And if you do, they can commit an illegal act called murder. But yeah, so they get arrested, interrogated, blah, 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 get sent back to Israel with their passports. These 5 fucks, the Jackson 5, what can we call them? The Juice, it starts with a J too, the J5, we can call it. J5, J6. All right, but yeah, they go back to Israel, go on a like a talk show, like a late night talk show, and they literally like brag about what they did. And it makes you think, why were they filming and dancing? Why were they taking pictures to make sure the towers burning down were in the background? It's almost like they're documenting it. And just like nothing was asked about that. And then you look at that and you go, well, that's just really odd. And then you see footage, or at least footage of like NYU Israeli art students in the basement like constructing the towers, and it almost looks like they're like setting up wires and shit. Like, well, if you look at the building fell, an engineer will tell you that looked like a detonation. Well, look into the Israeli art students. And then I mean, these are just little things that immediately make it false. But then it goes way deeper. And if you believe that 20 monkeys with box cutters said, yeah, we can't even drive cars, let alone 4-wheelers, let alone mini dirt bikes, but we're gonna fucking use these box cutters and we're gonna hijack these planes and we're gonna fly them into the fucking towers. Yeah. So you'd have to evolve faster than a fucking extraterrestrial species to learn that technology, given what you had back home to learn from. Now they're a little bit better because when Biden pulled out, he left them with everything, and then they sold it to the cartel so they can buy more little boys to dance in front of them. But you look at all those little weird things surrounding 9/11, and then it gets real freaky. Because now I'm like, how many Jews got saved by firefighters? Can you ask any of the firefighters, like, did you meet a Jew or save a Jew? Save a Jew. That sounds like a charity. Sounds like a charity. Save a Jew. Save a Jew from Hamas. But yeah, then you look at who wasn't there that day. Let alone the literal fucking dude who hasn't missed any days, who owns the property. But of course he's come on. And then I don't think Mark Wahlberg's really too bad, but he missed his flight. I think a lot of people missed their flight too. Who knows? But then you have like no Jews there, and I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna pull up any sources. I don't give a fuck. If you think I'm wrong, just come on and tell me. I'll fucking put you in your place. Spit in your face. Damn, no one's coming on the live stream. They go, this kid's gonna get me fucking. This kid's literally gonna get me fucking. No, it's too. But yeah, so you go. All right, they're not showing up. That's weird. Dentist appointment today. All right, and then so you go. Okay, you got a lot of weird adjacent white Jewiness happening, and then you start to look at how they fell, and then like I'm no engineer, okay? The only thing I'm good at engineering are crack lines or coke lines for the party, okay? No, I'm not a fucking engineer. It's a very, very specific and useful and hard skill to learn. And not only skill, just it can be a fucking, well, I'm not going to talk about engineers. It can be your fucking occupation. It's people go to school for huge chunks of their life to learn this shit. They'll tell you those buildings did not fall from impact like that. They fell from the detonation that probably those Israeli art students might have been the ones who planted them there. I don't know, but it was more of like a controlled demolition is what you hear. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to believe that, but we still got so many weird things around it that we can throw that one out. Who cares? But when you got engineers saying it, and you had firefighters who were not saving Jews, but hearing bombs go off while they were in the towers, that's a little weird. And then if you see the helicopter, that's like kind of it's full of journalists. It's kind of circling the towers as they're burning down, and people are hold on, my dad just called me. I don't even know where I was at. Okay, yeah, but 9/11 though. So, well, we were talking about engineering. Okay, cool. All right. So the engineers say, yeah, it's weird. The firefighters go, we're in the fucking building doing search and rescue, and we're hearing like explosions. And then you see this helicopter that's surrounding the top of it, these journalists, and getting footage, which you can hear in the actual video too. Someone told them to stand down and leave that area immediately. Basically tell them to fuck off. You're not allowed to be doing what you're doing. That footage is, probably classified when that all went down. You can see it now, but when it happened, they probably did all they could to make sure no one saw it, which was easy to do just during that age. That's why it was so easy to lie to people like JFK. No one saw JFK actually, or the people that were actually there. Yeah, they saw that happen, and a lot of them ended up dying, like in very very soon after that event. So instead of just like offering them money or just telling them, "Hey, shut the fuck up," they're just like, "Just kill them, kill as many as you can." But no one like saw that event. They were told about JFK being shot. And then you had films that were coming out that were altered. That's way different than what happened the other day when we all saw in 4K from different angles what really happened. Like we saw the actual thing happen, and the visceral response I got from that, and I know many other people did, was something I've never felt in my life. It was really odd and bizarre. It almost made me feel like that whole theory of we're all connected to be true, because I felt just like almost like a physical like illness manifesting itself from like these past events, the North Carolina shit and the Minnesota shit, and then to top it off, the day before 9/11, that shit. But yeah, so then you have this helicopter going, and the footage that they were able to get was not only were the firefighters saying explosions were going off, this helicopter full of journalists caught footage of like fires burning like a chimney or a furnace in there. That's not normal of the plane. It's weird as fuck that was caught on tape. It was like an internal furnace happening to like burn it down, and then it falls, like a controlled demolition. I know nothing. I don't know physics, even though I did take a good amount of physics courses to get my degree. But yeah, so that's another oddity. And then you have buildings going down that weren't even hit. Tower 7, which is the tower where all the financial records were being held. So whatever fucking scummy money laundering black project Epstein shit they were doing was probably stored there, burned, and I don't know if any of those documents are around anymore or accessible, or maybe through negligence like MK Ultra, some random person will find like one page stuck in the printer that someone forgot to discard of, and they're like, oh, look at this thing. Kind of like Hillary's emails where they're like, Benghazi was not normal. That was a little bizarre. We're gonna have to let's just check it out real quick, and then you and then you end up at fucking Pizzagate, and the Podesta's got fucking artwork of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims hanging from their ceiling and fucking Anderson Cooper looking kids being tortured in their paintings. And you go, oh, what the fuck did we just stumble upon? And then you go, what, Frazzle Drip? And then you go, whoa. Then you go, whoa, this is weird. And then you go Franklin scandal, and then you go H.W. Bush, and then you're down the hole. So that's like that just shows you like little slivers of information and a little bit of curiosity can really fuck up a plan that was not known and most people were ignorant of. But the truth always comes out, especially when like all this new technology that we were using like was coming out, and these people thought they could just get away with like, they used to only work with hard copy shit like paper. It had to be physical copy. They could just burn it or throw it away. Now it's like you're leaving data trails online, and they're like, just give them the internet. They don't even know what the fuck to do. And then we're sending each other fucking flat earth fucking theories from across the world instantly. So yeah, you have Tower 7 go down, the financial records storage unit essentially, without anything hitting it. So that's just, I mean, I've already given enough evidence. I'm just going to give more just to shove it down your fucking throat like the Holocaust in fucking 9th grade. This little Windows sales lady came by and tried to, I'm not the owner of this house, so I have no say, but I was like, you can maybe come back in a bit. They might be here. They might pull up that you can try to sell. And yeah, that's soon. She's gonna pull up and be like, oh my god, it's Hitler. But yeah, so Tower 7. And then you had the Pentagon get hit by something that they said was a missile, but there's like no footage to clearly say that that's what actually hit it. I don't know. And then they want to tell you that the people who did it were 20 Muslim people who don't even have technology advanced enough to know how to open the doors on the plane, let alone drive it into the towers. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying we were way more advanced. I mean, that's what comes with black budget funding and child sex trafficking. You can fund the most crazy shit in the world. What do you think Epstein was using his money on? You think he was just trafficking for the fun of it? Nah. It's just more funds to go towards UFOs and eugenics and Zorro Ranch and anti-gravitic propulsion systems at Harvard that Eric Weinstein was working on, and ASU physics shit with Lawrence Krauss. So yeah, I mean, like, that's where the black budget money goes, and this huge debt that we have is probably a result of like money being moved around illegally and no one knows where it's at, and now it's our debt. But that trillions of dollars that are missing are probably what's creating the DARPA fucking drones that we saw going crazy in New Jersey, like what, last year, whenever that was. I mean, it's all going towards shit in research to create the best technology. And then countries being run by satanic pedophiles, that all subscribe to the occult, they immediately use the best technology in a way that would allow them to further control the masses. They don't use it for good. New technology is always kept secret and used by the military until they have no use for it, and then they go, here, give it to the public. And then they go on to something new. We would never have access as just common people to whatever the best technology our country has been able to fund and research and create, because if we had access to it, then China would somehow have access to it. But to get back to 9/11, so we're at Building 7, and then the Pentagon got hit. All right, so let's start getting to what the response to this was, because we'll get to October 7th right after. And the response to this attack, right, because I guess we can compare them as we speak about 9/11. So just like October 7th, where you saw the Israeli population and citizens actively like protesting and calling for the resignation of Netanyahu, right before you see the attacks happen, that is happening. They're trying to actively get Netanyahu to resign. They are protesting against their ruler. And then Netanyahu goes, well, just create a common enemy. Let the fucking monkeys that we prop up attack us. We know they can't beat us. Cause some trauma, some emotion to stir up. And then the people that were once calling for the overthrow of their own government will go, no, shit. Never mind. These fucking assholes. And so you will actually, the people that were once calling for your resignation and saying absolutely no to any war that you want to send them to, will go to war if you create a common enemy. And you do that by, killing innocent people, especially children, and allowing it to be shown to everyone, whether it actually happened like that or not. But then what happens? So now you have the support, and people are not protesting, and they're down to go to war. And you go, okay, now you just said that you guys just gave your ruler consent to go. That's all he needed. And then he goes. And, October 7th was much more devastating than what Netanyahu's done. Netanyahu hasn't done anything to Gaza. He's just bombed it so much that now he's bombing rubble for fun. Just for fun, to see like if there's any muskrats running around. Like, it's crazy. And what's even crazier is what they've built up of Gaza since the self-defense attack is now being inhabited by Jewish people. But just like that whole situation, which was much more recent, but carried out by the same entity and people within that entity, and entities, I should say. 9/11. You have George Bush. He wants to go to fucking war in the Middle East. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. We don't want to go. We're chilling, bro. It's America, dog. He's going, they hate us for our freedom. And we're going, okay, I don't know. I don't think so. You're getting some people. You're getting the ones that had to grow up with just the strictest right-wing parents that, I'm going to fight for my country. I'm going to do right. And I'm going to come back with PTSD and either kill myself or fucking kill someone. But George Bush couldn't garner the support to allow him to consensually attack Afghanistan and go into the Middle East and instill democracy because they hate us for our freedom. So what'd they do? Well, he goes, or not he goes, so what'd they do? Let's create a common enemy. We got to get the support of these people. How do we do it? We need to have a major traumatic event where people feel that a part of them is gone or lost from it. And it needs to come from someone that we can all turn around and hate. And we got to make those people hateable by saying lies about them, like they have weapons of mass destruction. Like I told you, the monkeys with the box cutters. I'm not calling it. The individuals with the box cutters that somehow, I don't think could actually operate a car at the time. I might be a little hyperbolic there, but they sure as hell aren't like anywhere near as advanced as we are. They might have like dirt bikes and shit. They buy little boys for them to dress up like girls to dance in front of the older men. That's the type of society we're talking about. But somehow those motherfuckers have weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so there you go. And also, I forgot to say, all of the passports of all the perpetrators, the hijackers, were found completely intact, unscathed, not burned at all after a whole building was literally burned to the ground, multiple, and a plane blew up into them. But the passports were perfectly fine. Kind of like what is it? The Tesla Cybertruck that blew up in front of Trump Towers, and they found his wallet and ID like completely fine. That was inside the car that blew up. Hilarious. But yeah, so you have that. But getting back to Bush, he goes, we got to create a common enemy. They're not giving me the support I need. So he goes, train a CIA asset. Osama was that person. Train him in how to start a terror war with the U.S. And that's exactly what he did. They carried out this attack, in which was one of the most traumatic and major attacks on any country soil, let alone the U.S., especially the U.S. soil. And this caused a huge visceral and just heart-wrenching reaction from the American people that banded them together in a way. People talk about it and reminisce like it was great. Yeah, it's great that they banded together. They could have been doing that without that happening, by just smoking some weed and going to the beach, or finding a girlfriend and starting a family. That's not. I mean, there's better ways. That just shows you there's more to the story. So the 9/11 attack happens. And who's blamed immediately? Okay, the Middle East, the Taliban, the Afghanistan, and everyone goes, "Fuck them! I'll join." You had a skyrocket in military recruits. You had people just wanting to fight for their country. So now Bush goes, "I have their support. Let me go to the golf course real quick. We're gonna make a video. I'm gonna say, let me hit this drive real quick," and then he's gonna fucking smack one right down the middle. Kind of sick video, but still a scumbag. And then I'm going to go to a baseball game and wear a bulletproof vest and look like a total badass when my wife's an actual dude and I get fucked in the ass. And my dad before me, who's a CIA director, H.W. Bush, who's also a president, was involved in the Franklin scandal, where it was a satanic child sexual trafficking ring that H.W. Bush would have little boys from Omaha flown out to him. And look into the Franklin scandal. Really weird shit. So, I mean, it just goes back so far. But yeah, he hits the drive, throws the pitch, and people are down to go fucking to war with the Taliban, they say. But what that means is Afghanistan. And when that happens, we go, where are the weapons of mass destruction? They're not here. And, the weapons of mass destruction was actually the army that Bush sent over, which slaughtered and killed like easily 1 to 2 million Afghani people. And I'm not condoning what happened on 9/11, but I'm saying, I forgot to mention this. How did Hamas even get the funds and the training to even carry out that attack, given they're essentially a gang that runs around Gaza, compared to a top dog military in the world known as Israel, who has the Iron Dome? Well, they need funding. And who has to fund them? Well, the rich ones, the ones that love saving money, that are living right next to them, that want you to attack them. They'll train you as long as you do what they say. Okay, like I said, who they trained to do this? Osama bin Laden. So they're the one, like, the people being attacked, like the people running the country being attacked are never the targets, just their population and their citizens within that country. The ones that allow and train those groups to achieve these attacks are the rulers of the country being attacked. It's a fucking puzzle. But yeah, so there we go. There's no weapons of mass destruction. There's some weird shit with giants. I'm not going to get into that. It's a little wacky. And then we go, oh shit, we killed 1 to 2 million. Oh, and we actually have been guarding their opium fields that they agreed to burn down once we were there. But the U.S. said, no, the fuck you're not. And then you have soldiers on MSM fucking channels showing like guards protecting these very specific farming grounds, and it was opium. And that was the year that was the time period that the U.S. surpassed every other country or entity in opium production and exportation. We became the biggest heroin dealers in the world. And so it makes you think, weapons of mass destruction, or did you see a nice little cash cow over there? And what happened when you guys were all done killing millions of people, taking their opium fields, and raping their women? Because there's a lot of accounts, and even U.S. soldiers admitted to it. Not only that, what about the torture programs being run? What about that? And what about all the PTSD and other psychological and physical shit that happened to the soldiers that we brought back only to kill themselves and deny them psychedelics and gave them booze and fucking pharmaceutical pills instead? I mean, that's what happened, right? And that's not even the worst of it. And then when we pulled out, we left the innocent women and children to fend for themselves against the same terror group that we created. So, I mean, how's that for instilling democracy for you? How's that for, how's that for you for hating our freedom? There's democracy for you. So, what I just explained is a long version of a false flag. Make it look like one entity did something to create that entity as the common enemy among your people, so that you now have consent and justification to annihilate that country, even though your military compared to their gang, essentially, their military is night and day. It's night and day. So, and then once you're done, you allow that terrorist group that you created to now feed and pillage upon the innocents that had nothing to do with anything regarding the situation. Same thing with October 7th. Except Netanyahu's like, we're not pussies, we're not pulling out. We're going deeper. We're going to Iran. So it's 9/11. I mean, that was the response, and it's not good. We come to later find out that there's no weapons of mass destruction. It was all to become the biggest heroin dealers. We killed 2 million of their people. We lost how many people of our country, and wounded and fucked up in the head even more. Like, I don't know. Yeah, really weird shit. Really weird shit. And it's almost like Israel wants us to always be involved with their wars in the Middle East, because it works out perfect for them. If we help them destabilize and attack their neighboring countries so that they can take over, the people that were in that country that Israel takes over now have to be refugees and go somewhere else, while Israel now takes over and inhabits their country. And we are that melting pot safe haven for all the refugees, while Israel is the safe haven and melting pot for the fucking pedophiles that commit their disgusting crimes in other countries but are allowed to return back to their pedophile haven with their passports and just miss trials and hearings and whatnot and do them over FaceTime, and who also hold like high security positions regarding like social media, like positions that are the ones taking down tweets, or at least sending what needs to be taken down. Just security for things like Twitter. That was that Tom Alexandrovich or whatever his name was, the only person out of 8 people in that pedophile ring that the Nevada police took down. Only one of the fuckers left with no didn't have to see a judge. All the other 7 were convicted in front of a judge. The Jew one, though, was able to leave on his scheduled flight, $10,000 bail, which is, well, they had enough, but they probably weren't happy about it. But he was allowed to post bail, leave with his passport, not see a judge, only to go to where all the other pedophiles love to flee to. That and the Vatican. Then continues just to not show up to hearings and whatnot. And the U.S. fucking officials always want to try to look like they're going to play hardball. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Okay, you want the video of you fucking a kid to come out? You're going to watch your fucking mouth. That's what Israel says when we start trying to play hardball. They go, do you really want me to do this right now? Do you really want me to go open the fucking layer of Jeffrey Epstein's basement to get that footage we have? Shut up. Shut up, Stephen Hawking. I got you your black midgets. But yeah, that's what 9/11 resulted in us making a bunch of money off opium, killing millions of people, losing a lot of people, destabilizing a country that was doing pretty well, just like Libya, which allowed mass migration into Europe and things like that. Libya was the route. That's what they call false flags, and October 7th was one. A lot of you can say a lot of mass shooting. False flags are the most effective way to conquer and divide, because you stir up these swaths of people who didn't disagree like this before, but depending on who they watch on social media and what their algorithm curates for them to see, they get stuck in their own social media echo chambers where they kind of become radicalized. And then when you add a traumatic event to that, now you feel like you have now there's like a dog in the fight, and now you're causing infighting, when really it's our people. It's like the devil. He never really has to do anything to commit his evil acts. He just pits people against each other and has them do it to each other, so he doesn't have to do anything. It's like the occult that runs the world doesn't really have to do anything, even though they're the ones that are kind of writing the story. But the people that carry out the actions are like their little minions, like the cops and the military. Those are the fucking compliant retards that need to be held accountable. But yeah, false flags are the best way to stir up hate, create fake infighting, or not fake, but manufactured, whether the people know it or not, which divides them farther, which makes them talk less, and allows the person or entity that started the bullshit in the first place to get more done and be more effective and use our trauma and fear to advance their goals. And also, they'll just lie to us. They will not only shoot you on TV in front of everyone, they will just lie to you and be like, what? There's no files. Never said there's files. Bondi was out there saying there's thousands of CP videos. There's thousands of CP videos. That's what she was saying. And she's like, fucking, but JD Vance and Hunter Biden came in and hit a heist on us, and now we don't have them. But he did leave a breadcrumb of cocaine. So yeah, that's like the 9/11 talk. I mean, that's kind of more the theory. I mean, it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying what we're told is just not. I mean, at this point, if you believe like events or the narratives of events that tragic, traumatic, and important in our nation's history, if you believe the mainstream narratives regarding any of those events, 9/11, Boston Marathon, mass shootings, if you still believe in this shit, well, you probably have 3 boosters, ready to get your 4th. You would mask up if your girl told you to. And then once you do enough traumatic events, then the population that you've been doing it to becomes desensitized to like these horrific traumatic events. So much so to the point where like we just start to accept it or forget about each one that happens because there's a new one each day. So it's like never forget, but it's also like speak your mind and protect your country or it'll get taken from you real quick. It's a Game of Thrones, Cersei said. You either fucking win or you die. But Cersei just fucked her brother. She was just an Ashkenazi Jew. I hope the mic's not being too loud. I'm using a handheld mic. It's just more fun to move around. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say about 9/11. And just the aftermath of it was just Well, then you have Ground Zero, and it's like, where'd all the documents from Tower 7 go that were all the financial statements? I'm sure Epstein's name is all over Tower 7 documents, which was essentially a storage for financial records. I guarantee you, I've seen Khashoggi. All those names are all over it. Roy Cohn, Lansky. Yeah. I fucking yesterday. I'm done with 9/11, so let me give a little outro for 9/11 because I'm not gonna. I don't want to talk about it as much until each year, but each year I want to remember it and what it actually was. So that's why I kind of tried to give a rundown on it. And I'm not saying it was any specific person. I'm just saying there was a specific group that never showed up. And, well, we know. But yeah, this has nothing to do with the people that responded or were victims of it. Just simply the narrative behind the construction of the plan and the implementation of the plan, and how that was, well, basically put together by people within the U.S. government and or another great ally of ours, who we call our greatest ally, but we're just their little doggy. And the people during that time were not able to get access to this information, so they had to go along with the common enemy. But it doesn't just result in knowing that or thinking that the Middle East did this. It resulted in us decimating and essentially doing something akin to what Bibi Netanyahu has carried out on the Gaza citizens. So, yeah. This, like I said, nothing to do with the victims that day. That's just horrific sacrifice for whatever blood ritual they were doing. And this has nothing to say about the first responders either. They only did their fucking job, and they did it thinking that this attack was what the people told them, and what the elite told them, and what the governing body told them they were, helping with. I mean, you're risking your life to save all these people where you think a terrorist attack just took place, and you're really just fucking saving the people that just had their own government plot and execute a 2,000 plus death count on their own people. So imagine being like a first responder and you're like, oh, these fucking goddamn motherfuckers. These motherfuckers. Goddamn towelhead, camel fucking motherfuckers. These Mohammeds. And so when that happens, you're going in there thinking that, and then you're hearing fucking explosions coming from different levels. There's a fire burning like a furnace inside. The buildings are falling down like a controlled demolition. There's a fucking building full of financial records that went down by itself mysteriously. Houdini went over there and fucking pissed on it. And then also the Pentagon was hit at the same exact time by something they called a missile. Or not a missile, a plane, a piece. I don't know what they said hit it. I forgot, but it was really probably a missile. I have no clue, which no cameras were able to catch. The most secure and the most secure building should be the Pentagon, but it failed to capture what hit it that day. That's weird. So yeah, you go in thinking it's just the towel heads, and you come out with that information. You go, what the fuck, what rabbit hole did I just go into when I entered that portal? Oh, it's crazy, because that's exactly what happened. First responders went in with the story they told them, and I mean, many came out going, I don't know what this was. That was weird. And then you got all the fringer stuff. So you have like the Simpsons predicting it. People think the Simpsons some type of fucking oracle in the fucking Matrix. Neo, I'm a black lady. I'm a black lady. They're gonna change the Cracker Barrel logo. They're gonna take my black ass off the Aunt Jemima bottle. They're gonna make me Princess Leia. They're gonna make me Cinderella, and I'm gonna be gay. It's actually the Jews did that too. But yeah. And then The Simpsons, I mean, yeah, you can call it an orc all you want, dude, but the writer was part of the CIA. So, I mean, that's all I really want to say about it. Let me see if I can think anything off the top real quick. Nah, I'm good. All right, yeah, I mean, that might be all. I mean, where are we at? Hour 19, not bad. I need a fucking Zen, though. I need a Zen. Zinny Zen. What, I only cracked 2 beers this one? Shit. About a 12. And I got the cigarettes, too. Yeah, just something about watching True Detective over again. And just seeing Russ Cole with the fucking, God, what is he drinking? What is he drinking? Fuck. It's called, it's like a Texas sounding type of beer. Oh, come on, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm not gonna look this up like some fucking goddamn tech addicted, short-term memory loss high schooler right now. Come on. Oh, dude, I'm gooning for ChatGPT right now. What is it? Come on, what is it? I'm trying to think. What would they? Because when I went to the store, I was like, I'm gonna get Miller High Lifes because that's what his beers look like. What was it? Oh no, it has nothing to do with that. This is gonna piss me the fuck off. I gotta look it up. But yeah, had to stop and get some beer because I've been binging the first season of True Detective again, which is by far the best season of that series. Top 3 to 5 easily of series all time. Go watch it because literally Russ Cole is his archetype. His character created an archetype that like I'm sure is like the major role in the awakening, given the awakening to like the Epstein stuff, the royal family stuff, the U.S. government, like this huge child sex trafficking ring that is being run by the government, who is also all part of a like a cultic religion. And so it's just like all tied. I don't know, it's like a detective going deeper and deeper into this case where he's just finding deeper, and it's a like a satanic ritual sex trafficking case where he thinks he thinks he got the guy that he needed, the final boss, and he just keeps getting deeper and deeper to such a point where he's like, bro, I'm pretty sure they're telling me to stay off the fucking case and stop going into it further because everyone's involved. So I'm rewatching that again, and I just butchered. Yeah, you need to, if you haven't seen True Detective season 1, you are a faggot. You are a grade A faggot. You are a power bottom. Oh, gross! Imagine that. But yeah. So this, I'm gonna look up this beer. I thought I would remember it again. But he's just smoking Camels and drinking beer while talking to the cops that are kind of reopening the case. Because the case never was fully closed, and they come to some like crazy conclusion that Russ, this character, was the one actually doing it. But it was their way of showing what they do to create patsies. The people that become patsies usually are the ones that dug into it the most. So yeah, I don't know. He's just sitting there drinking fucking. Oh, there it is. Lone Star. I don't know if I would have ever got that. What was I thinking of? Lone Star Tick? Is that a thing? Yo, turn me up. Lone Star Tick? Let me see real quick. Yo. Lone Star. Yeah, I think it is. Yep, of course. It's the Nazi fucking created bioweapon. It's literally this is literally the Nazi bioweapon creation after World War II, and we brought them to the U.S. They gave us the Lone Star Tick, and the Lone Star Tick, the first one ever created and let loose on whatever island that was, actually evolved and morphed into who we know now as Anthony Fauci, also known as science. Who then followed his roots, only to tell us it came from bat shit. Can't believe we all believe it too. Come from a fucking bat. Them chinks are fucking eating bat wings and getting COVID and seizing and falling on the floor. Then in reality, it was literally Anthony Fauci allowing it to escape, telling people to cover it up, and it all just turned out to be an unsuccessful, essentially fake virus that was not even more powerful than a fucking flu. I think it was so weak that people were able to placebo themselves into a more potent flu than psychologically than actually fucking getting COVID would do to you. It's absolutely fake. Eat my dick, and I ain't even vaccinated, ho. Yeah, but shedding. I get sketchy about shedding, bro. Shedding's sketchy. Imagine too, like your girl wants to give your kid a COVID vaccine, bro. All right. Well, you're gonna get your ass beat tonight. That's what's gonna happen. So that's it. Jesus. All right, but yeah, the Lone Star beer and seeing him drink those and smoking Camels and just rewatching one of the most well written and best character developments and just best characters in general. Even Woody Harrelson's character is fucking sick. Just the whole cast, everything's great. It's just so fucking nostalgic. So much so that after my haircut, I was like, I'm getting some Miller Lights. They resemble the Lone Stars the most, and I always get Camel Blues anyway. I think that's why I started smoking them, was from when I saw it first. And bro, that shit kicks. That shit hits harder than the first time I watched it. And then I also watched Hereditary last night too. That shit's got a cult symbolism written all over it. And I didn't notice it the first time because I was a fat retard who would wear a mask and get vaccinated if my girlfriend told me to. I would have literally let her get on stage at a Chris Brown concert and grind on him while I took the video. I say, no, girl, get up there. Get over there and shake your white ass. I'll even let him hit you like Rihanna. That's a Lemon Party joke, not mine. It just sprung into my mind again. All right, any other movies I watched? Alien Earth is getting pretty good. I think it's just like Three Body Problem, though. It's just like a form of predictive programming. Been watching that. A little bit of The Punisher. Yeah, that's about it. And then Dark Wolf, where they show that, the allies are quite allies. Which I mean, our CIA, their greatest ally, is, well, you would say their mentor. Because without Mossad, CIA would have been nothing, and it would have turned into nothing. It would have burned to the ground because they sucked at spying. But the Jews, I'll tell you what they can do. They can sex traffic and they can spy, and they can make you feel bad about loaning them money. That's who they are. They can make you feel bad about a Holocaust when they're creating one themselves. They can make you feel bad about Hitler trying to start his own race when Zorro Ranch was the exact same project. Starting to think nah, I won't say it. All right, that's going to be it, though. I don't think I have anything else. I'm going to watch this Arizona game. We're about to be 3-0 in the season. And then that usually marks the point where we think we're so good that we can just turn into who we usually are, which is just degenerate alcoholics who, after winning 3 games in a row, you don't know if they're going to show up blacked out or sober. So you can never really bet on them after they win their first 3 games. But let's go. All right, until I don't know when I'll record next. And I had no people call in. That's pretty gay. That is pretty gay. Yeah. All right. Peace.